Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Where I talk about all things K culture, particularly related to K dramas. But this week I'm taking a bit of a left turn around K-pop.
후회하면 안 될 거 아니야, 그지?
Hi guys,
이
I'm
친구
watching my
마찬가지입니다.
first live con. It's Woo Young and Jun K from 2 p.m.
저에게 이제 마지막 한 곡이 있어요.
Yeah,
이 한 곡을 부르면
Woo Young just finished his
언제
set, I
다시 또
think.
제가
It was a
솔로로
great set.
무대에
And he is
설지
so adorable. My
몰라요.
goodness.
So excited about this week. So it is Sunday afternoon, 1st of May, Workers' Day. And how I spend my morning. So I woke up early today. Not typical of me on a Sunday because I like to sleep in on a Sunday. But I woke up early today just to catch a fan con. I've never been to a fan con before, so this was my first K-pop fan con. Woo Young and Minjun, aka Jun K from 2 p.m. had the fan con this weekend, yesterday and today. But today's was televised via live streaming as well. So it cost me about something like 758, give or take in that range, to join the FanCon. So via Beyond Live. So I went and I bought my access on Friday, and then I could only enter 10 minutes before 10 to 9 before the event was scheduled to start. They started a bit late today for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, but they started. And it was 3 hours of them singing, them talking. They sang their own solo songs, which I know, of course, because I listen to all that music. And then particularly Jun K, whom I love. He's one of my favorite male vocalists, Korean male vocalists, or male vocalist, period. I love his voice. And then also Jun, and then they did a couple of 2 p.m. songs. So it was really, really great. So let's see some of the footage I managed to record. Right.
You make me wanna be a better man. I really wanna make you happy. 네가 있어, 내가 있고 우리라는 꿈에 나 절대 숨지지 않아. 날 위해 네 옆자리에 꼭 지켜줄게.
네가 아닌 날 고칠 수 없어. 난 다시 웃을 수가 없어. It's only you my baby, it's only you.
아, 너무 좋다.
끝나버린 추억을 혼자 외놓지 못하고 붙잡아. 지난 항상 보내주고 새로운 삶을 살아. 나도 알아. 그래야 한다는 걸 나도 알아.
Right, so yeah, it was fun. I kind of enjoyed it, and I kind of enjoy the way they work hard to interact with their fans. I think that is so sweet. You know, because I guess that's why people go to concerts. You know, otherwise you could just listen to the album at home. But the fact that these K-pop stars take time to interact with the audience, you know, they take time to sing. I think that is amazing. And I absolutely love that about the whole thing, you know. And I'm glad I attended the FanCon. It was 3 hours. I saw yesterday, like on Twitter and on TikTok, that the other 3 band members, namely Junho, Chansung, and Nikun attended yesterday, and then today Taekyeon attended today, and Taekyeon looked amazing as well because, you know, he was wearing shorts, maybe short, I think a denim shirt and a fedora, and he is ever the up for each other. So that was so nice as well, because it kind of, because we always told, you know, like when people like criticize K-pop bands, you know, they always go, you know, don't forget that these guys are actually co-workers or colleagues. They're not necessarily like the best of friends, or they're not that close. But in every kind of single solo concert that I've seen a 2PM member hold for themselves, the other band members always come through to support them. You know, they always take time out to come through, which I think is commendable. Um, for such a competitive industry as well, because you know they also compete as solo artists, but they still come through to say hi and to support and to sit in the audience, and it also kind of brings a thing. And another thing why I love 2PM as well, every time like you see them even in their solo projects, the guys that are actors as well, when they introduce themselves during interviews, they'll always say, I am Taekyon from 2PM, I'm Junior from 2PM, I'm Chansun from 2PM, I'm Nikyun from 2PM. So they always introduce themselves as how we first meet them, or how the Korean public first met them, which were members of this 7-piece, then 6-piece band called 2PM. So, you know, it's always like such a grounding for them to introduce themselves as 2PM. And I love that about them. And I think this is why like the fans who've been their fans since 2008, 2009 have stuck with them, because they actually see the dedication these guys have towards the band, you know. The fact that they could go off, all of them do their military service, continue with their solo projects, and people even blew up, by the way. It became even bigger than they were before military service, you know. And then to still come back, or do what Destiny's Child did, and say, you know, if we're going to come back and we're going to do this album, and also say, you know, this is not the last album that we do. We are going to continue doing music together. We are going to continue doing this together, because we love doing this. We enjoy doing this. You know, this is a family to us as well. Even like they can change agencies or whatever, but you know, there will always be 2PM. I absolutely love that. Yeah, one of the things that I've been thinking about quite a lot in relation to South Africa and, you know, the K-pop industry. We do know that, you know, we do have quite a few people in South Africa who listen to the genre, are huge fans of K-pop. Particularly BTS, you know, they've got such a huge, the army is quite big in South Africa. On TikTok, I always see posts, you know, from South African army, from African army, and they're always complaining, you know, that, you know, we've got army South Africa, and, you know, we're never going to see BTS here. And I just want to kind of link you to why. Like in today's FanCon, right, I'm a 2PM fan, so the things that I can afford to sign up to do as a fan, those are the things that I do. And I always say that, like, you know, like when you go through the registration process to join a FanCon, you know, you're from South Africa, you join VLive and you buy whatever from VLive, you're from South Africa, so that they actually have the data to know exactly how many of you there are from a particular country. If you are not spending money on the on BTS, where they can track you, like on the legitimate sites, not the resellers or whatever, you're signing up to get their fan packs every year annually, you've got an annual membership to BTS, you're buying the merchandise from BTS, the fan nights, whatever, you are buying the merchandise, you know, and they're shipping to South Africa, they know who you are, which cities you are in. That data is very important for fandoms, and this is how they determine the cities they go to, where they're going to launch, because it's a business at the end of the day, you know. BTS's entertainment company, I know they rebranded, they used to be Big Hit, I don't know what they call themselves now, like Hype or something, I don't know, is it Hype? I don't know what they call themselves, but you know, BTS's, what used to be Big Hit, it's a business at the end of the day, and they've poured in a fortune into BTS being as big as they are. So if you want BTS to come to South Africa, how much are you also spending? Are you and your friends getting together, helping each other, starting stockpiles to help each other buy the merchandise, to help each other buy the photo cards? How much are you guys spending? Because all this goes into a database. And if there are enough of us, I mean, if you say like we can get together 200,000 BTS fans in South Africa, you know, it legitimately, and we're all spending at least 1,500 a year on BTS. You're all doing that. Big Hit is going to look at South Africa and going to go, you know what? If I go to South Africa and have a concert, I'm not going to be singing to an empty stadium. I'm not going to be paying for an empty stadium. I'm not going to be paying for 20 plus dancers. I'm not going to be paying however much the boys now charge to perform live. I'm not going to be paying those salaries for nothing. There is money here, you know, there is going to be a result. It's not going to be a dime. So if we all come together, guys, like, and we all just push through and we start stockpiles or whatever just to get us to spend money on these things so that they can actually start taking South Africa seriously as a consumer of K-entertainment, of K-pop. That's the only way it's going to work. Otherwise, we're never going to see BTS. Purely not spending enough. You know, when you compare us to the size of the army in the US, are insane. You know, they are so huge and they spend so much money. There are people who spend $5,000 a year on BTS in the US, on merchandise, on concert tickets, on paying for these fan cards and these live shows, whatever, you know. And they spend so much money on it. We simply are not, and I think this is what is hurting us. Yes, we are a small economy. You know, we can't really compare ourselves to the US because we like a fraction, we're a fifth of what the US is in terms of size. But on the flip side of it, to look at how organized in the smaller countries, how organized fandoms are in the smaller countries. You look at Malaysia, you know, how organized the fandoms are. You look at the Singapore fandoms. The fandoms are so organized. You've got one umbrella. You've got one BTS Army South Africa umbrella where everybody comes in. You've got a person who actually manages it. And you know, you keeping track of everything. I think if we get to that stage of organization, you will be able to get BTS to South Africa. Like, people, they'll take you seriously. They'll be like, you know what, we are going to South Africa. You need to put South Africa on the map. If it's under an umbrella, like it's organized, it's just not 20 people on TikTok, you know, posting dances or whatever, but like just showing how dedicated we are, you know, in following this band, then you will be able to get them to South Africa. I particularly am not really a BTS stan. I would like them to come to South Africa. You know, I would like them to come to South Africa, and I'll most probably go when they do come to South Africa. I'll most probably be there as well, along with all of you, you know. But yeah, like, if there's no money, why would they come? And if we're not already spending money on, you know, because people don't buy albums anymore. And another thing, guys, what we also need to start doing, right? When your friends are illegally streaming music, regardless where the music is coming from, you know, I'm not only talking about K-pop or whatever, but if your friends are illegally streaming music, you know, they're illegally streaming BTS, you know, they've gotten it on their phones through illicit sites, their songs through the illicit sites, and this is how they're consuming BTS content. That is something that does not count as a fan. You can't count yourself in that instance as a fan, because Big Hit is not getting the royalty from that illegal stream, and they don't count it. You know, they don't even know who you are. We all South African here, you know, we know what gets played on our radio. I have yet to find a radio station that plays K-pop, no matter how big. You know, Sugar and Sai have a song out, you know. I'll be surprised if there's a radio station in South Africa that picks up the song. Yes, it was the biggest song of this week. Biggest song. On Friday, like, it hit 10 million views on YouTube within 10 hours. But I bet you it's going to be a while before we hear it on South African radio, you know. And those are the small little things, because also, like, radio royalties count a lot towards people going, okay, this is where we need to go we on the radio quite a lot as well, you know. So how do they know that we even here as people who consume BTS? Aside from the 10 people who are are streaming them via Spotify, paying for the Spotify streaming, paying for the Apple streaming, the albums on Apple, on Spotify. There's so few of us that are doing that. And this is in itself the essence. And then we don't want to pay for the fandom membership because it is eye-watering expensive. So what is it that we are doing to show that we are here as a fandom, and how can we help each other to get it, to push it forward? And for me, like I'm all for opening stock files to get this thing done, guys. You know, we can start with BTS, then we can talk about the EXOs and the Stray Kids and the other fandoms later, like, to get these guys here. Because as long as if you're not spending money, they're never going to stop here. It's literally just economics, guys. Like, and I know it's painful to hear. Yeah, so that is the hot button issue of the week that I wanted to raise and my view on it. And I saw that Twice has like sold out Tokyo Dome twice this year. Like when are we ever going to see a Twice, a Blackpink at the FNB Stadium? When is that ever going to happen? Yet, you know, they're selling out Tokyo Domes twice. You know, right now I don't even know if we've got a big enough K-pop community that can do that, you know. And if I'm this worried, like, for sure, JYP is not even thinking about South Africa right now. It's not something that is keeping the management and executives at JYP awake on how they can monetize us. They don't even care, because we're simply not big enough. And the way we big enough is become big enough and influential enough is us starting to spend the money. Yeah. This is in partnership with the Korean Embassy in South Africa. In the K-Supporters program, please like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and please share it with as many friends as you can. So we can grow this community and we can get the conversation rolling. See you next week. Bye bye.